Hello, this is Battalion, and welcome to a new series I'm starting for Vintage Story. Now, I was a bit skeptical when I first saw this game. I was just like, oh, it's Minecraft. No. So, long story short, I am incredibly invested in this, and plan to be for the foreseeable future. So without further ado, let's jump into it and see if we can survive the night. Alrighty, now a classic, almost cliche sort of thing is, oh, let me just head over here and punch this tree, but of course, any mod pack worth its salt is going to take that out for realism and hardness. And though it's not a mod pack, it's a separate game entirely, you would be right on this. You need to do the whole collecting stones thing to eventually make tools that can actually do this. Now, luckily, there is a structure right over there. I am going to just briefly head over there. God, I love this music. They just released recently some of the composed music for Hytale, and actually I am going to turn that down. There we go, now you can hear my insane screams and ramblings. Alrighty, can I take this? Oh. Oh. It says it belongs to a trader here. Gears. Can I take these? Alrighty, so apparently this is like the equivalent of... Oh, there we are. I've never seen one of these dudes before, I've merely heard of their existence. Alrighty, so that's not going to be too useful for the time being. Yeah, as I was saying, you need to collect stones and sticks to make a tool that can actually harvest trees. Yeah, that's classic, we've seen it all before. But just hold on a moment and trust me, because things are about to get real. So, rather than like, just, oh, everything's in the crafting table, well, there are certain things that are like that. These guys made it so you actually, like, physically have to craft most things. And I'll show you exactly what that means in just a moment. I am being careful and keeping my head on the swivel, because even during the daytime, you're not necessarily alone in the world. Even if it's just, like, a basic animal, there are still things that can come about, attack you, kill you, etc. Alrighty, now the inventory. No, actually, here we go. Flint napping. Now you select things. I'm going to make a knife blade, and you actually physically carve it from the stone. I am going to try and do everything relatively quickly because we are in a time crunch. I don't want to be caught out after dark. I haven't built like a small base and a shelter. One thing I do love about this is it makes you feel like a noob in Minecraft again. Not even that, because in Minecraft you were probably like a kid watching videos like, at least for me, I might just be like dating myself as an old man here. You would watch a bunch of videos before you even played the game, but with this, it's genuinely new. You have no idea what's going on. You just have your wits about you to guide you, and I think that's neat. Makes you feel like inexperienced. Like, for example, it's just like a common complaint I find sometimes with Minecraft servers is just like, oh, you missed 3 days. Everybody already has like enchanted diamond armor. It's important to like get food, because if you don't, you will just starve to death during the night. Alrighty, let's see. I'm looking for cattails because, to my knowledge, it's what you need to make most things. They're usually found by water. There isn't too much water around here. Oh crap. So, interesting fact about wild boars, they'll kill you. in real life and in games. This isn't Minecraft where you can just tame a little piggy. Cool. Hey, I think I got far enough away. I don't see any cattails, it just looks like tool, whatever that is. There might be other plants that could work, but to my knowledge, this is what I need. Small piece of driftwood. Let's just focus on this. You know what, screw it. I am going to harvest the whole thing because the bottom can be used for food. Unfortunately, it just doesn't grow back. Small piece of driftwood. Alrighty, we're just going to have to drop that for now. Things don't despawn as quickly here, so that's pretty good. Alrighty, once I get 5 of these, I'll be able to make a basket, and that will expand my inventory. Alrighty, 10. There we go. Now, here we go. A basket. So you don't start off being able to carry hundreds of thousands of items. You actually need to create baskets, and that'll expand your inventory over time. Now, I think I'm gonna leave... So, the reason I was harvesting the roots is because it gets you the cattail root, which you can eat as a food source. However, I am gonna leave it because cattails seem a bit scarce around here. Alrighty. Here we go. Second basket. Alrighty, now we're cooking with fire. Where the heck was I before? Pretty sure I just completely lost the trader entirely. Might have been over here. Regardless. You might notice that I seem in a bit of a rush. That's because I am trying to get everything set before nightfall. Alrighty, I heard a noise. I'm going to run in a different direction. Alrighty, I think this is relatively close to where I started off. Don't even have a spear or anything because I was in a rush. Might come back to bite me in the butt. Just a little bit. Yeah, this is more or less where I was. Alrighty. So I have a basket. Now let's see here. Now we're gonna nap a few more things. First things first, an axe head. Each of these shapes are different. Have to be careful not to mess anything up. Alrighty. Now, like I was saying before, I am trying to hurry at least a little bit because once night falls, I need to have a house and a bed, and if I don't, I'm more or less just kind of screwed. Now you might say, oh, just go mining for a cave. Just find a cave, go mining through the entire night. You'll have yourself a grand old time. No! Caves in this game are like... I don't want to say an end game because I have no idea like how far these games even go. But you do not touch them, you do not go underground until you have like a few... I'm not going to go down there until I have like some armor and tools beyond like the basic first ones like that. That's how dangerous it is. I'm going to try and get regular armor to just survive on the surface, and then we'll just see how everything else goes. Alrighty. Now I'm just going to make... Oh, a copper nugget! I must have gotten that while I was picking up stones. So that's a little hint as to how exactly you get tools and armor without caving. 1, 2. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm not turning these into planks. You cannot. Until you have, like... Oh, I made a mistake there. Until you have, like, a saw, and in order to get that, you need an anvil, and it's just, like, a whole thing. You'll see that just, like, you have to fight for every single thing, every little bit of survival. And that's what I like about this game. It's not Minecraft, which is... I'm sorry. I it almost makes me sick saying it because I've devoted hundreds of hours to that game, but it's geared towards children. Everything's relatively simple. Even nowadays, you don't even have to go to like everything's like friendly. You can just streamline along, and when you're an adult who's been playing it for over 10 years, just to make myself feel like super old, it's just like you do everything very quickly, and you'll just have like diamond gear by day's end, but this, it actually feels like you're genuinely surviving and trying to survive. That's the best way I can describe it for the time being. I do also need to put a roof on this because there are things in this game. Now this might look like a little bit of a noob house, but we'll be lucky we have this noob house done before Nightfall. Now if you can't tell, I have very briefly interacted with a few of the things in this game. I'm not overly familiar. I know there's some monsters that try and kill you, I know there's some monsters that make it so you need a roof, and I know that most things that you're going to be able to kill for food are going to probably kill you first unless you have a decent spear. Alrighty. Now, as I mentioned this before, this game was made by some devs that splintered off of the Hightail project. And as you know, the state of Hightail is a bit... Oh, yeah, this is where it was. The state of Hightail is a bit worse for wear, but once Hightail does come out, I am genuinely looking forward to actually comparing the two. Box and items, door. Where is the most basic? Ah, yes. Crude door. An axe, some logs and sticks. Ready, let's see. Axe, logs, sticks. Crude door. Alrighty. Now, this does have, like, this will just randomly break, so we don't want to be too willy-nilly with it. Alrighty. Now, another reason I am rushing is because you have a very limited time before something called winter arrives. Now, I live in the Great Sunshine State, so, you know, it's more of like, it's a fantasy concept to me, more like, what some of the creatures in this game. It's just like, ah yes, oh, this game has winter? Is there also Endermen and dragons and whatnot? But in this game, it's no joke, you just need to, like, stock up on a massive amount of... What the heck is that? Oh, that's just something out of render distance. You need to stock up on, like, a massive amount of food. Not entirely sure when it shows up, but better to be safe than sorry. And food spoils, so you need to have, like, gardens and farms and, like, barrels to preserve everything. Now, let's see if I remember how to do this. Place... There we go. Now I need firewood. Now, did my axe break when I crafted things? Alrighty, let's make another axe head. During the night, I do plan to do some basic stuff, well, as much as I can do without putting my life at risk, which is just to, like, do this to nap up all of the other tools. There we go. Yeah, in Minecraft, fires are just 90% decorative, and this they're more or less required. Alrighty, I swear, that is the last time I'm going to compare this game to Minecraft. It's like comparing Overwatch to TF2. They're different enough that, like, this game deserves to be judged on its merits, for better or for worse. Alrighty, let's see here. So I am very interested as to, like, get your guys' opinion and on just, like, everything in this game, because I don't want to spoil everything, and on top of that, I don't think my words can do it justice. I've played, like, very briefly before I decided, alright, I'm not going to get too far into this, I want to make it into a series, but I have seen things. I've seen things you would not believe. And I just can't wait until you guys see it as well and just see all of the horrible and wonderful things this game has to offer. I've been playing Minecraft for over 10 years. I need to get used to these new crafting recipes. Ah, damn it, I just said I wouldn't compare the two again. Regardless, here we go. Now, one thing I am super interested in is there's sort of like... I keep having to compare it because it's the best way to explain it, but I think y'all know what I'm talking about regardless. I'll do stuff with the fire and then I'll finish the thought.